Hey everybody, welcome to our little cabin in the woods. My grandpa originally built this. Actually, there's a date carved into or pressed into this concrete block over here. So somewhere around 1975, he built this cabin originally, and it is long overdue for a little care and upkeep. Last summer, we came in and gutted the whole thing, and I took some pictures of it. I'll sprinkle those in here if you want to see it. But it was kind of an ongoing battle to keep mice out of it for years, and then eventually the squirrels moved in and started opening up little holes and getting in there and wrecking up the place. And then the raccoons took the little squirrel holes and wrecked it up even worse, to the point that it was trashed. It was just trashed inside. And it got the worst while I was living out in Wyoming. So we came in here and we gutted everything, and we pulled the ceiling down. We pulled the walls off. It was all insulated, and all of that was just covered in pee from years and years of critters, and it was just disgusting. A couple of raccoon corpses fell out of the ceiling when we took it down. There was a chunk of chimney pipe that was laying horizontally across the rafters up here. And I kind of just grabbed the pipe and pulled it down like I was going to pull it out of there. And a baby raccoon fell out and hit me before it hit the floor. And then I looked back up, and there was a mom and a couple other babies still up in the rafters. So they ran out through the little hole in the corner and then up onto the roof and spent the entire day just sitting up there in the sun while we finished gutting this thing. So anyway, this is kind of what it is. Just bare studs. The siding is trashed on it. We're going to take a lot more down before we're done and then start rebuilding. But today's project, the thing that we are getting started with, is this concrete monster right here. There used to be a fireplace, a stove that sat here, and the original plan, my grandpa thought he needed this much foundation built on underneath it to keep it strong, and then see if I can lean out here and show you. There's that pipe that's sticking out of it, and then it comes out down there too. So that was supposed to be a draft that was supposed to help bring cool air in to feed the fireplace and then up out the roof. And I don't fully understand the concept of that particular one. Why would it need to come out from ground level? But that was his plan, and it never actually got used for anything. So now you can see, let me just duck under here. All of the rain that ever came off of this side and landed on that either pooled there or actually went back towards the building. So the entire bottom of this wall rotted out. You can see all the way to the end it rotted out. And that's why this whole chunk came out. Now we did this last fall, and then we didn't want to just leave it wide open until through the winter. We didn't want more critters moving back in if we could help it. And just having a lot of snow in there would make it that much more of a mess to clean up in the spring. So kind of sealed it up with some boards and some plastic, and this is just where we left off. So today, I'm gonna walk over to the truck. I have a generator and an electric jackhammer in the back of the truck. You saw in there some of that some of the concrete was busted up. I swung a sledgehammer at it a bunch of times and thought, yeah, I could maybe get it done this way. And my dad kept saying, that looks like too much work. We should go find a jackhammer. So that's what we've done. We're going to fire up the generator, going to pull out the jackhammer, and we are going to bust that whole concrete block up so that's like the last serious demolition before we can start to rebuild. So we'll get that out of there. We'll have to fix the main beams that are holding this up, and then put the wall back in, and we're going to put in some new windows, some new doors. We're going to probably add a door. There isn't a door on the back right now, and if this is going to be a deer camp, we'd like to be able to sneak out the back in case there's something down across the pond, down in the cool stuff down here. So lots of work ahead of us, but it should be a fun little project, fun big project. And anyway, I'm rambling. Today, concrete removal. Let's go. We've been at this for about 6 hours now, just over 6 hours now. Mostly, I am running the jackhammer. Well, my dad is picking up the debris, putting it in the tractor bucket, and taking it out to dump it. You sit back down. Dogs are supposed to be sitting right now. Good. He's taking it off and dumping it, and that's been our process for way too long, but check out our progress. It looks like we haven't accomplished anything in the last 6 hours. Safety plank, because I've been trying to fall through the rotten floorboards. We've made progress. We definitely have, but it has been so slow going. My original idea of being able to bust this up with a sledgehammer would have been very, very foolish. The jackhammer's made a huge difference, and it's still not enough. It's going to take at least another full day to get this done, and we're not even going to be able to get rid of the whole thing. The whole point is to just get it low enough that it's below and outside of the outside finished wall when we're done. So we've got to get it below the ground, below the floor, and outside of the wall. So pretty much we have to get below that level, and we have to bring it to about even with the outside edge of that pipe. And then we could call it good. We'll bust up some more of it for sure, because there's no reason to have this big ugly corner back here, but it's not going to come all the way out. And it doesn't need to. And good joke, Grandpa. Men that I don't believe ever played a prank in his life, I'm calling this one definitely a prank. There is so much miscellaneous junk in here. He spent 50 plus years, I don't remember the number, working for the telephone company. So most of the shed or cabin is actually made out of telephone parts. That's a telephone pole. All four corners are telephone poles. If you look, the deck is supported by telephone poles. All of the horizontal pieces, the big thick ones, are telephone cross members. So there is telephone wire. That's actual thick gauge wire. Where were you? Here's some power, some Romex, some old-timey Romex. Maybe that's even just a power cord. We have one type of wire mesh. We have a different type of wire mesh. We have thinner gauge wire. These are cross-member brackets. Flint, you're not listening. Sit down. Good. There's all kinds of stuff buried in here. There's also big boulders buried in here. There's one, or there is where one was. The cabin was actually built into this. I stuck the jackhammer once into that spot, into that wood, because I didn't know it went that far in there. The sides came in here. And, oh, this was interesting. Look, actual rebar. I didn't think we'd run into any of that after all of the other surprises Grandpa left in here. So, good prank, Grandpa. Good prank, even though I'm sure it wasn't intentional. You figured nobody would ever rip this thing apart. Joke's on me. Anyway, I'm exhausted. I think we're going to button this up and call it a day.